Built from convenience. I'm built from calling. I'm built from storms I didn't schedule and blessings I didn't bargain for. I'm built from women who prayed with cracked voices and still hit heaven like a drum. I'm built from men who worked with tired hands and still held their families like scripture. So respectfully, I'm built different. And some folks only understand boundaries when they finally collide with one. I don't match energy, I set the temperature. I walk in the room and the atmosphere checks itself. I speak soft and the noise remembers its place. I move slow and time stops acting brand new. I don't clap back, I call back my peace. I don't raise hell, I raise standards. And that alone will make the unhealed start sweating under their own intentions. Because when you're built from prayer pressure, we have
sacrificially served for 3,940 days. Today is May 15th, 2026, 19th year anniversary of the founder of the Creative Arts Department of the Martin Luther King Jr. Center of Nonviolent Social Change, the founder of Urban Success University, the Yokemeister to us, who couldn't even hear God whisper my name. I used to the great Yoki of the Yokis, the young organization of kings, internationally serving, Yolanda, Denise, Scott, that's the Scott woman, King, my kingdom big sister, though she is the daughter of Martin Luther King Jr., the prophetic daughter of Coretta Scott King, is so much more than that. The prophetic, one of the four King kids, a force to be reckoned with prophetically and in of her own right. Integrated Springfield High School or elementary as an elementary. Springfield High School, like what in the world? I'm nervous. Student government president at Grady High School. Prophetic producer, creative, apostolic artist, humanitarian, fought for children's rights, women's rights, human rights. She, when referring to her father's work, The Dream, said, a dream that is not dramatized cannot be felt in the heart of the next generation that is to carry it. I got thrown in the mix in the Atlanta buffoonery in 94, but before 94, I never knew that Yolanda was Martin Luther King Jr.'s daughter. I knew she was E.S.B.'s niece, Dr. Edith Scott Bagley, but I was 15 in 1994. I hadn't connected the dots. I thought I pretty much seen her my entire life. I'm a Zion Baptist Church, Mount Airy Church of God in Christ, Red Church baby. So at Zion with Mommy Grace, the Yorkmeister was always around for some type of creative, artistic something.
Listen
Like I'm
carefully.
thinking of like
This is not
I can't
coincidence.
think of like
This is not
you know
luck.
them little Easter plays or
God is
where she not
reversing every
around.
attack against your life.
Right, Hope,
Every trap they
Mama
set,
Dash, always
every
around.
curse they
A
whisper,
lot of y'all think
every
that
weapon they formed
Herbie,
in darkness.
William Herbert Gray, would jump through
Heaven has
hoops
already issued
for
a
Coretta
reversal.
because of the relationship he
What
had
they
with
meant for your
ML.
destruction,
Y'all
God
know
is turning
Yolanda
into
was
your
his
testimony.
goddaughter. What?
Because when God stands up for you,
She be like, jump.
no
Ha ha.
devil can sit on your
Watch
destiny.
this, watch this, watch this. We finna send him
Let
to the
the
moon.
beat drop.
That's how it is.
They tried to block every door in my way, but
Yolanda
child, this is your day.
of the four King Kids is the only one that stepped outside of the bubble. Like everything that actually took place, she saw. Like, all right. So let me give you a practical point, okay? So, ML's in Alabama, all right, and he's preaching a sermon, and he gets a little piece of paper after he sat down, thinking somebody finna get a benediction, and it say a house blew up. He run off the pulpit. He never dropped a piece of paper. Nobody with the frick is on the paper. He think is somebody waiting on back, conversation, what is it? He take off. They have blown up his house. Think it's a knock at midnight, call it conscious, one of those. And he said I was sitting around the table, and watch this. No Marty the Third. No Dexter. No Bernice. No double grandma. He said I got Coretta and Yolanda settled. Okay? So I sat down around the table. I poured some coffee. I pulled on the sociology, the theology, and the psychology that I had studied. None of that shit was working. So I thought about my mama up there in Atlanta, a prayer warrior. That wasn't gonna help me. So I thought about, my daddy was a preacher. My father-in-law granddaddy was a preacher. It's kind of an inherited religion. So I realized around this table, I had to learn God
Hear me clearly.
for myself. Okay, all right.
Every hidden attack,
You know she wasn't asleep.
every jealous enemy, every secret plot against
And so
God
you know,
is reversing it now.
at Dexter's funeral,
Tears you cried in
Marty
secret,
III said
turning
me
into public victory.
and Bernice, we gonna mention all the women that wrote my mamas, that were involved in the movement, especially my Aunt Edith, but my hip hop hermeneutics professor. But you see how big she is? Okay, so when he died, she 5. She don't really know nothing. This the Funtown baby. This the baby that I know daddy running around doing whatever, but jump. That's that baby. When you see me reading Martin Luther King Jr.'s book and all the elementary schools, shit, for the past decade, 12 years. Okay. Little Yolanda got a book, and the girls tell me they want me to start reading your Little Yolanda book. I read Marty's book because he talks about the fact that when everybody was going to the March on Washington, him and Yolanda want to go to Funtown. Okay? And so, as I understand it, this situation that I get injected inside of in 94 is a difference of opinion. Okay?
Everything
Between
they
her
planned against
and
you
Dexter.
being overturned.
On their father. I'm not
The trap they set
it's
for
not
you will catch
I'm
them
not
instead.
I'm not to get involved in that shit. I don't really see
Curse
myself
they
getting involved.
spoke over you was turning into a
Dexter
blessing.
and launching King Inc.
Because when
is
God decides
monetizing
to
his
protect
father.
you,
As Bernice sees her father as an intellectual giant. Okay?
no
Okay.
demon can remain.
Yolanda sees him as a prophet.
No enemy can
Okay?
win.
Now, here's the foundational difference.
Tonight,
Okay? Let me talk to you about this prophetic, because some people say I'm a little bit intellectually, not small. But the gospel is to be freely given. Now, a framework, a philosophy, the deliverable of an intellectual giant that can be branded, that can be marketed, and that can be sold. And so, she real big on service. Bernice, not not double grandma, but but like real Bernice. I got y'all. She she very, 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 very big in service. Okay? Okay? Okay. All right. It's a superpower. Okay? Okay. All right. I oftentimes talk about the fact that the remnant, their little group, uh, uh, prophetic children, was born in 1988. That's because when she, hold on, I'm freaking, ain't got a mind of its own right now. When Coretta Scott gave Cynthia Dolores Nodis Tucker this Legacy Award in 1988, the King holiday was a holiday, but it wasn't respected everywhere. Okay? So it was 89 when she launched this King Association. And Coretta wanted her to have these little North Philly kids ring that Liberty bell. Okay? Now, fast forward. And she's fighting, Coretta, to make the King holiday a day of service. The first day of service that we celebrate is January the 17th, 1994. Okay? All right. I think this shit is over. I'm in the basement of the back whole basketball court. And you hear this that stopped the world. And I run up by my dad's office. And like all the other boys do. And that's the call that the next day on the 18th, Dexter killed the youth department, creative arts department. Now, the 19th is a big call. Big call. Big call. Big call. Mama call. All the mamas on the call. January 20th, my ass getting dropped off in Atlanta, Georgia, with Brother Bill, and the Bible. You know. Now, let me put into context. Dexter and Isaac are adults. I'm the little brother. I'm the little brother. So, the pain that this clusterfuck has caused the mothers, because it wasn't just, well, the staff of the King Center went from 71 to 14. If you've been around a little grassroots nonprofit with a bunch of mamas, and you got that many black mamas going home talking about they got fired because them two boys, absolutely the old 404 was finna fuck them up. Then, you gotta talk about this fact that, like, all right, so I seen Yolanda around Bright Hope. I seen her around Zion, and she hang out with my big sister. And they command their daughters. So Yoki into the arts. Her detail, you don't want to piss her off. They did what to your what? And so I'm the little brother. I'm the one that our mamas can take the, what is called? The nonviolent pledge. All right? I was fucking shit up, but I only fucked shit up as a juvenile. Like Mama Nottage. See, they called her Cynthia Dolores Tucker, but that's Whitfield Nottage's daughter. The Nottage brothers, like, that's the first black Secretary of State in these here sin sick United States of America. And she did it in the corrupt Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. She responsible for more black women on the bench and in positions of power. Like, you talk about these two. Yeah, they founded the Martin Luther King Jr. Center and they founded the Martin Luther King Jr. Association. But these two are the three pillars of the National Political Congress of Black Women. Coretta Scott, Cynthia Dolores Nottage Tucker, and Shirley Chisholm. So they really care about kids. Now, a lot of folk, you talk about Sully, Leon Howard Sully, the Lion of Zion for the generation before this one. You know, a lot of folk running from the inner city, he running to it. A lot of folk running from our inner city kids, he running to it. You know, he was at Abyssinian when Mama Grace told him to get away from Abyssinian because that political shit is getting them pretentious and away from God. You know, Warnock started at Abyssinian. Kevin Johnson, after we kicked him the fuck out of Bright Hope, slid through OIC. He up there ended up at Abyssinian, that political, pretentious shit that be away from God. Mama Grace, she founded Many University. She don't give a fuck about what none of them white folk talking about, none of their prerequisites, get them babies what they need to succeed. Same way Sully gave ML select patronage in the 60s, and after he died, that's what he told me. Then they rewrote it in the Operation Breadbasket. Well, when they killed the youth department, she had something to send when she gave Coretta and Edith Mama Grace. She had something to send. Sully ain't had to send in the 60s. Me. That's why I ended up being chosen by Yolanda as the dean of Urban Success University. You know, it was 95 when Edith Scott Bagley and Cynthia Dolores Nottage Tucker started College for Teens at the Cheney campus. You know, Edith founded the Creative Arts Department at Cheney, just like Yolanda founded the Creative Arts Department at the King Center in '82. You know, the purpose of College for Teens was what a lot of folks are talking about now. See, some kids, they come from the suburbs with a silver spoon stuck up their butt. They're provided with all the tools, all the information, all the resources to feel like the world is within their reach. But other little nappy-headed Negro children from the urban inner city of North Philadelphia, the old Fourth Ward, the southwest side of Atlanta, below the red line, they've got the same creativity, same anointing from God, same ability to be able to change the world. But oftentimes, their creativity, Edith Scott Bagley would say their sense of self-efficacy, their belief in themselves is stifled due to the harshness of their realities and the innumerable challenges that they have to face in everyday life. She would say, and take a balloon and use it for illustrative purposes. Your mind's like a balloon, boys and girls. Once it's expanded, blow it up, let the air out. It never goes back to its original shape. And so they created the College for Teens experience to let urban inner city kids be able to dwell over the summer on a college campus. Impactful, phenomenal, included a rites of passage. You can see it. Go to urbansuccessuniversity.com, click on or scroll down the closing class of College for Teens, and you'll see it. Well, that was 2002. Yolanda had already talked about consolidating all of our mother's youth work because they all had one. Amelia Isadora Platts Boynton Robinson has a youth work. Rosa Louise Macaulay Parks got the Raymond and Rosa Parks Personal Development Institute. Edith Scott Bagley got a youth work. Uh, Amazing Grace got a youth work. Andrea Dash got Computer for Kids. She knew technology was going to be the great equalizer. Coretta had a youth work, but it got caught up in what was killed by Dexter and that. Yolanda got a youth work. All of our mamas got a youth work. And so what we saw that now let me set the record straight, not just because he's a Scott, because I can set the record straight, because I'm the dean. What a lot of us had a challenge with Dexter not knowing, he ain't know. See, his father died when he was 7. So all the shit that y'all used to torment him about not knowing, he really didn't know. You know, when he got pulled to the side and educated, he understood. You know who knew? And just found that his way to get in? Isaac Ferris Fuckboy Jr. Now the boys behind me at Chelsea, they want to point out the fact that Isaac Ferris Jr. father ain't do shit, but he was sleeping in a Butler Street Y before he started dating Martin Luther King Jr. daughter. But I don't see it that way. All right, because I got such a respect for Christine King Ferris. That's only because I'm William Herbert Gray the third spiritual son, so I understand the covenant that Herbie had with Daddy King for his daughters. And see, what a lot of us miss, right, is that every King holiday when Christine King Ferris stood behind that fucking podium, she stood with a prophetic posture, right, that inspired all of us, black, white, orange, yellow stripes, green with freaking polka dots, on a global level, when she relived the most tragic events that any woman could relive. All right, like Martin Luther King Jr. when he was 12, right? He Grandmama's boy. Grandmama was a prophetess. Ebenezer wasn't founded by AD. All right, it was founded by Jenny Celeste Parks. All right, who was teaching black babies the book in the basement back when it was a caboose. All right, and she didn't go. Well, she went to Spelman College, but it was before it was Spelman College, and before it was Spelman Seminary. Before John D. Rockefeller's daughter, a wifey, Laura Spelman, dropped the bag. She went to it when it was Atlanta Black Female Seminary. Okay, teaching black babies the book in the basement. You could tell how that continues because the original Freedom Hall is the basement of the Heritage Sanctuary where they worshiped back when they was, well, actually over 444 when they were building the sanctuary, not the Freedom Hall that they done rewrote shit across the street. Okay, and so prophetic, and so Daddy King wasn't no preacher. He had no formal theological training. He was a G from the hood. He was renting a room. And one day, Alfred Daniel found out he wasn't just up in the room. He was up in his daughter. And he asked him, he was like, hey, my boy, you want this shotgun or you want the Bible? Daddy King was like, no, I really like her. She wasn't the prettiest thing in the world. And he was like, yo, all right, boom. So he became the youth pastor. And then Alfred Daniel Williams died, all right? 3 years later, Daddy King, that's when he goes over to the International Baptist Convention with William Herbert Gray Jr., my spiritual grandfather, and they bumped into Whitfield. Now that you had a copy of the Slave Bible, but that's not the topic of the conversation right now. But that is when he changed his name from Michael King Sr. to Martin Luther King Jr. and Sr. in response to the German theologian Martin Luther. And then Whitfield came back amongst Ebenezer Community Chapel at 19th and Susquehanna, and William Herbert Gray turned Bright Hope into an entrepreneur and educational juggernaut, the beginning of what we understand to be the Ebenezer Covenant. But that's not the topic of the conversation. So anyway, I digress. Now, so what had happened was, Martin Luther King Jr., you understand, right? Daddy King got 2 sons. He got ML, and you the first son, bro. Like, I know. You raised by these prophetic women in the church, all right? Your daddy a little hood, Nigga, you never getting out the church. You're in the church 8 days a week, 40 hours a day. All right. And so at 12 years old, his grandmama, Jenny Celeste Parks, is preaching a women's conference. ML, affectionately, respectfully, Martin Luther King Jr., don't get to go or don't have to go. He get to hang out with his daddy and AD. And so a grandmama, Jenny Celeste Parks, dies while preaching a women's conference. Okay? ML came back and damn near wanted to fucking, well, he did. He went to the second floor of the birth home, jumped out, and tried to kill himself. Christine King Ferris was sitting there. All right, number one. They come and they murder her little brother. All right. Then they murder her other brother, MLAD. They come to kill her father. Now, I'm gonna tell it how Yoki would say, tell it because we creative art. When you get the boss, you don't stop coming. They got ML, they don't stop coming. They get AD, they don't stop coming. They come to get Daddy King, miss. Killed Mama King in front of fuckboy Ferris Jr. Mama, Dr. Willie Christine King Ferris. And fuck what he did beforehand. Isaac Ferris Sr. stood by that woman's side from then till he had no more fucking breath. So for those outside of the southern cluster of the village who don't, I got a fucking respect for Isaac Ferris Sr. Now, so much so, I heard the truth. Man lips. His son, he just a bitch. Nothing like his daddy in the capacity of standing 10 toes down for the women of his bloodline. All the women in the AUC, no? This nigga, I'm Martin Luther King Jr.'s son. Nephew. So the fuck what? Anything that Bernice has to clean up, okay? From her mama ascending January 30th, 2006, till she come back, that's all Isaac Ferris fuckery, okay? And the covenant with Daddy King and his daughters, that shit play out. So if y'all got a difference of opinion between Coretta and Naomi, get the fuck over it. I'm not teaching that. Now, got a difference of opinion between Yolanda and Alveda, get the fuck over it. Difference of opinion between Yolanda and Bernice, get the fuck over it. Now, I do got to teach that. All right. They're both Scott daughters, but they're different. All right. Bernice went to seminary when she was having some challenges with legal school. Okay. She's still a Scott. You got to work this shit out sometimes with this anointing. Y'all see what she did with Redemptive Bank. The woman is an attorney to be fucked with. Y'all feel like Bernice gangster? A little bit, a little bit, a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. Like that much. It's cute. Hey, double grandma. Now, Yolanda never participated, did not want to entertain the conversation of the monetization of her father. The interview is clear. She says it. My father meant it when he said he wasn't gonna have no money to leave behind. Now, let me clean this shit up for Dexter. Because he is Scott. You know, Don Lemon, when he was interviewing fuckboy Ferris Jr. on CNN, incredible reporting. Don said, Isaac, you telling on yourself. You're not a king. You're not a Scott. Dexter ain't out here. Bernice ain't out here. But you the fuck out here. On Donald Trump dick. You all the way out here, my boy. You're not racist. Like, 90% of the conversation motherfuckers want to talk about with them throwing the bus out the office, they can't because because of you. Let me clean this up for Alveda. And Angela Stanton's sexy ass. I'm sorry. I like women that give the motherfucking work for the babies. And I'm man enough to admit, even prophetically, when I miss. See, in our African tradition, we got two. All right. We got the prophet and the seer. In between Coretta first and second stroke, that's when we lost my brother, KJ, Kenneth Jerome. He's the prophet. I get to see shit. Now I'm gonna tell you the challenge. Cause I almost at times be wanting to ask God, stop showing me shit. Cause you got tools in your tool belt I don't know nothing about. Like his ways above our ways, his thoughts above our thoughts. So you'll show me some shit. The conversation with me and God, all right? God will show me some shit. And I'll be like, well, that's what he showed me. And I've seen so much shit that he showed me manifest. I know what he showed me is what he showed me. I don't know how it's going to happen. And in my own flesh, at times, I attempt to try to use what within my power, and then show up and show the fuck out. So a lot of times, folk be like, well, how you see it? That really like what God's showing you. I know what he showed me. How he going to work it out, that's up to him. All right? So my brother would kind of tell y'all some shit, but he wouldn't tell y'all too much shit. I talk to y'all in circles sometimes because y'all can't really handle what God is showing me. Y'all went to Paul and asked for that shit. He was like, yo, we want steak, but you really been sermonically fed for the past 20 years, so you want like sermonic fucking Similac. Like that, though. So I say that to kind of get y'all to understand in between Coretta first and second stroke is when I lost my brother. Now, this is imperative because 10 years prior in 95, after Dexter's Cool, is when Isaac's on his fuckery. Or when a little beef take place. Now, because of the inside information that his father shared in the circle, that stop beating the boy the fuck up because he's gonna go cry to his mommy, and y'all know how it go. She ain't give, you know what I mean? We ain't gonna put him out like that. So nobody can fuck with Isaac because he gotta respect his mama. He know that shit. And you know, it's kind of let me kind of get y'all talk about Uncle Tom, right? But Uncle Tom was really a G. All right, it wasn't Uncle Tom. It was Sambo. Okay, Sambo is a motherfucker who act like he kicking it with us, but really going back telling everybody everything. We watched that interview with Don Lemon, Isaac Ferris Jr. talking about me and Donald Trump had a conversation, and I can't tell y'all all the parts of it, but you know what I mean. Now, for clarity, when it comes to Alveda, when this shit play out and Yolanda shut her eyes 3,940 days ago, and this 80 King shit popping up, I go along with this because I'm celebrating Madam Butterfly. That's Alveda's mama. That's AD's motherfucking boo-boo. Okay? All right? When I'm holding the bullhorn for her, the one time she get that major motherfucking shine and get to feel 1,000 kids kicking it with her, all right, in front of the Georgia Gold Dome. Y'all see that look at how she looking at me in the before I fucking, cause them cluster fucks ain't even have a mic for it. Take my bull home. Yep, there you go. The spirit of my beloved Boaz. You know, ML would give you speeches, but if Daddy can't put the hit on your ass, AD was the one to pull up and fuck you up. Now, a lot of y'all be like, well, Alveda be getting the bag. So the fuck what? You just pissed off that your father ain't put in no work for you as his daughter to be able to leverage and get the fucking bag. Get the fuck over it. Well, she sat over here and she say this and she say that. So the fuck what? Well, her daughter, mind the business that pay you. Now, because I do get to see shit, I was saying this February 18th shit, and February 18th is really sensitive to me. On this fucking, you know what I mean? Because Jimmy Lee Jackson, I'm a Jackson kid that, you know, died and would prompted this March 7 March over the Evan Pettis Bridge. And so when February 18th, when Angela Stanton, and you know, them feisty little motherfucking pretty toxic ones, I got a little fetish for them. They taste the best sometimes. They get all creamy and shit. That's besides the point. So I'm, you know, I ain't never met Shorty, but see how this shit play out. I'm pissed off until my best friend Sergeant Christopher Fitzgerald get murdered. I'm too that of myself. 95 is when Isaac on the fuckery. Y'all see how I skipped over that fucking lawsuit with Coretta and Alveda in '94? We got hard copies of that shit, but I ain't bring that shit up. Ain't nobody got no problem with Alveda. But Isaac, now everybody told this motherfucker I was gonna punch him in the fucking mouth, and that's what he thought was gonna happen at his mama's birthday. Ain't nobody gonna slap his bitch ass, but that was the lie. Okay. Now, 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 Yolanda shuts her eyes, and well, before that, Coretta shut her eyes. Yolanda got all this pressure. It's the 2007 King holiday. Isaac and Warlock and Shannon, they got this whole little shit that they finna do for optics before Yolanda performs on her father holiday. And as prophetically in tune as she is, freeze, I'm not performing. Get KJ. For what? Who did what? She calling me who did who the niggas done did some goofy shit already. Introduce her. I'm not going behind that motherfucker's desk. That's an order. My sister do that. She do that. It is what the fuck it is. I'm behind the desk. I'm introducing her. None of us understand that's her last public performance. Now I'm gonna skip who house it was. I'm gonna skip who the fuck they are and this monetization shit. I'm gonna skip that. The motherfuckers behind me, not. They focused on that shit. But she's at Dexter's friend's house. And this shit is questionable. And 3,940 days ago, my Kingdom Big Sister shuts her eyes, and because I'm so fucking fiery over my brother just being murdered, because the team is so fucking fiery, they feel like they missed it. They really tear the fucking world apart. And before they can get an autopsy to prove what they know, Willie Watkins, you burn the fucking body. I ain't got nothing to do with this shit. I don't. I'm gonna keep my head down and get this work done because we opened up Coretta Scott King Young Women's Leadership Academy. And I feel fiery like everybody else do. And I got these little babies because they priced this academy Young Women's Leadership Academy. And I go and I graduate them and they, you know, I'm walking them in a Coretta Scott, and they in 6th grade and then 7th grade. Dean KJ, who you talking to? Dean KJ, who you talking to? What? They all these little eyeballs. I got a daughter that because, you know, Isaac is Isaac, we never gonna put my daughter in the mix. Cause I'm gonna maintain this nonviolent pledge. But you start fucking with my daughter, I'm gonna kill you. Fuck who you are and what you think it is. Over my daughter, you will die slow and painful. And I'm coming for your grandkids, goldfish from the grave. I guarantee it. So anyway, you know, daddy-daughter shit. Anyway, make sure I just let that marinate a little bit. So you never, anyway. You really don't want to make her cry.
Pain told me everybody smiling ain't for me. Everybody clapping ain't proud to see me win. Pain taught me some doors gotta close in my face. So
the boy and boss baby
finally let me in. Pain taught me stop begging folks to understand me. Everybody can't go where God taking me. Pain taught me silence got more power than proving. And peace mean more than being seen. I used to take things personal. Now I just let it be. what was meant to
Yolanda's
break me
goddaughter.
down ended up teaching me. That's what the pain taught me. How to stand when it get hard.
You know,
How to smile through the tears and still protect my heart.
she don't fuck with
That's
y'all.
what the pain taught me.
She don't want shit to do with
How
y'all.
to trust a higher plan.
Ever.
How to lose a lot of people and still know who I am.
Get the fuck over it. And rewrite whatever the fuck you want. But get your fucking mitts away. Too late. SelectPatronage.com launched. UrbanSuccessUniversity.com launched. The fuck over it. We ain't having a girly fight. Y'all into nonviolence. Why are you trying to perpetuate so much of it?
Just to show you what's really meant to heal. Now I don't chase what don't choose me. I don't force what don't fit.
It's been 20 years. Loretta and Cynthia and all our other mothers ascended. You have your rewrite. Not at the expense of my children. That's not the King Center's youth department. That's my fucking youth department. Okay? The Remnant. From 1988 to 2007. When Yolanda shut her eyes, they're 19 to 32. The little kids that come after it, they mine. You can build your own shit. When we closed out college for teens, we came up with a curriculum, Success for Teens. It got 8 chapters. It got 4 principles per chapter. Summer always has 8 weeks. We do a chapter per week. Point 1 on Monday, point 1 on Tuesday, point 1 on Wednesday, point 3 on Wednesday, point 4 on Friday. We do a recap. We have a Success Saturday. The Urban Success University 2015 curriculum is out in the 2014 model. It's free. When you go to urbansuccessuniversity.com, we've impacted over 5 million kids. It's the #1 requested resource during a school tragedy. You know, a lot of the young ones, my geniuses, 23, 24, 25, that are running the institutions they get all the money for, they need a curriculum. So I'm teaching them how to teach it myself. I damn near wrote it. It's the slight edge. You know, William, Herbert Gray, Leon Howard Sullivan, Joseph Lawrence Roberts put me behind the curtain at 3340 Peachtree, Tower 1, Buckhead, and 99. And Tower 1 with Fran Targeting. It's when I started kicking it with, I'm teaching y'all the power of 1%. That's the slight edge. All we did was, I remessaged stuff. We put the slight edge into Teen Talk. Yeah, Trump's on my advisory board. So is Greg Provenzano. So is John Addison. So is Kim and Robert Kiyosaki, Stedman Graham. I mean, we could go on and on. Yeah, like that though. I ain't real big in the name dropping. Yeah. And we provide that for free. They did kill the opportunity for us to have hard copies, but you can go to urbansuccessuniversity.com, click on Success Academy, and download a copy of the digital book. There's a 30 to 45-minute teaching guide for each and every single principle. Download that as well. I know they've gotten millions of dollars, like a $4 million grant from the public education department to come up with a new curriculum that does what this one does, but that they knew that the public education department was going to be dismantled in Project 2025 by Donald Trump, so they would never have to come up with a deliverable. So it wasn't necessarily that they wanted to provide a curriculum for the kids. It was more or less the fact that they wanted to get paid off of redirecting a lot of that money to their consultant and corporate friends. Now, as far as Urban Success University and Nonviolence 365. I understand how a lot of y'all are critiquing it, saying it's flat, it has no engagement. Bernice has never experienced the community. She was 5 when her daddy died, removed from the community. Even as a youth minister on Campbellton Road, she had you had to call someone to get accessibility to her. So she's never been amongst us. She doesn't understand us. Okay. And so, she had that little thing with Andre, and they're talking about this redevelopment bag and all over, and all y'all talking about, well, damn, she could have listened to the community, so some of this shit would have been relevant. And so we do understand that she's her father and her mother's daughter, but when it comes to community engagement, when it comes to being relevant and understanding what we need to re-engage in our community, she doesn't know anything. All right, the actual people who actually got shit done, she doesn't know. None of the money and none of the organizing ever came out of Atlanta. All right, Bernard Lafayette, rest in power. He told y'all, listen, when I came to Selma, y'all know they was looking for cameras and ain't no cameras down here. We know when Martin Luther King Jr. died, that's when everybody rioted up north and out west. These down south niggas ain't do shit. All the fundraising, all the organizing came from up north. William Herbert Gray, Leon Howard Sullivan. I mean, my spiritual pop. So I don't, I'm not participating in that. I made a covenant with Coretta Scott King. I made a covenant with Edith Scott Bagley. I made a covenant with Yolanda Denise King. And I was taught that integrity is doing what you said you would do long after the emotion you said in its past. Is it going to be hard work to clean this shit up? After dealing with Isaac, yeah, but God reserves his hardest battles for his strongest warriors, and I'm built for it. So anyway, that's that '05 to 2015 shit. And in '05, man, that's when we got Warnock, and that's when we got Kevin Johnson. And it's not that we got anything against Warnock and Kevin Johnson. They never embraced the kids. And motherfuckers came in with a political agenda, pretentiously entitled, and felt like everybody was going to kiss their ass. After William Herbert Gray died, we kicked Kevin Johnson the fuck out. He tried to bring Warnock up for a photo op. This is the funniest shit in the world I ever seen in the black church. William or Raphael Gamaliel Warnock, the pastor, historic Ebenezer Baptist Church, is at Bright Hope Baptist Church, and every fucking usher board took off. Them niggas was scrambling trying to get the kids. And so, boom, they got their little photo op. Anyway, we kicked Kevin Johnson the fuck out. Warnock, he's still here. Now, me and Warnock did have we had a little challenge. All right, he had this little weirdo named Wilbur Willis, and Wilbur Willis in 2011. I'm sensitive about this shit because we went through the fucking, they were trying to lock my teachers up and shit, the mamas on this little test and shit, and we had the bully issue. Now the bully issue was big. Shout out to Gerald Griggs. I'm talking about, they've been fighting in the trenches for us, fucking African people for a long time. But it was a young boy by the name of Jaheim Herrera. He got bullied in school in DeKalb County, and then he hung himself. What the fuck was he bullied in school on being called a homosexual? Now, Warnock got this motherfucker named Wilbur Willis. Y'all got this picture with my son, I'm telling him in front of the fucking pulpit with the twins and that bitch nigga behind the desk. Y'all understand why. And his arrows pointing at him, that's the motherfucker. So anyway, he squeezed a boy butt cheeks in 114. And the boy ain't gonna lie about this shit. Like, he squeezed my butt. What? Shannon Jones ain't big on investigating. Neither is Warnock. But Shannon just came from cleaning up boy shit at New Birth with Eddie Long. So, all right. Warnock, when Warnock was at Abyssinia as youth minister, he hosted Castro. When he was in Baltimore, right? Like, this why we had to dig in this shit. Like, why the fuck you ain't digging it? You ain't coming past the nigga with you. Why the fuck you keep? You too busy for nigga. You gonna make time for this. Young boy by the name of Keith from the hood, be more careful, goes to an overnight a sleeping venue at Warnock's church and pees on his shelves. All right, get in the shower, we're gonna get you right. You cool, talk to you, get you back with the boys. They lock him the fuck out the cabin. He ain't never been in the woods. He thinking lion, tigers, bears, oh my, go lay down on a basketball court. He's awakened to a bucket of urine being thrown on him. And this motherfucker never, the mama there next morning, but all the toilet facilities are working. They talking about initiation, what kind of initiation? That's what Warnock cut the fuck out of. All right. He was arrested,
released, said within his legal right, you ain't your political ascension. Because when you come in this motherfucker, we got 4 generations of black boys and black men. And the only 2 fathers that don't sign this non-disclosure, right, is me and Malcolm Stevens, son Tyson, the young boy that was homeless in 2021, 22 and shit, going through all the shit that we had to put up. And all, don't worry about it. That's my youngin'. I got his back. Now, that's just the shit with Warnock. Now it's time for ordination. Fuck this nigga, bro. This nigga's a motherfucking freak. Da, 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 da. I turned down his ordination. Niggas is a little entitled fucking. And so, but I'm going through some personal shit. January 2021 is when the mamas made me throw the Watts Night party. January 5th, my mama died. March 15th, Amazing Grace Bank Sullivan ascends. Boone County give me this little fucking endorsement letter for all the work I'm doing. I don't really fuck with y'all, bro. I'm doing this work for fucking a morning, nigga. And next thing I know, Edith got Bagley fucking ascends. And I'm out, bro, because they on this boy shit. And so, yeah. And Amelia, Mom Amelia throws a 100th birthday party August 18th in the Kingston Auditorium. None of these niggas come on some real disrespectful, grudgy shit. So I'm out. We launched in the Edith Scott Bagley campus in Wilmington, Delaware. We converting the Dope Corner, 627 West Clearfield, into the Sanctuary in North Philly. And I'm really dealing with this motherfucking corrupt superintendent named fucking Reed Lindsay in Pottstown. Bam, that's what it is. And so, you know, whatever. Now, 2015, February 1st, I had my first daughter in campus die, Erica Scott. My Philly camp. And her funeral was February 11th. You know, we do a love thing. And so February, Valentine's Day is Saturday. And the next day we lose Joseph Lawrence Robert. So Youth Day been planned. And Joe's music tribute is Friday. Youth Day is Sunday. And Warnock made the kids have youth service on that Sunday. Let me back up. Georgia is trying to ban me from the state of Georgia. I speak because November 2024 is when we're kicking off the United Nations Global Celebration of People of African Descent. And Joe's is sending me to all these KIPs around the country. When I go to the KIP DC, that's when the Park Service, they got this whole shit set up. I'm in KIP DC. I'm speaking to the preschoolers, the elementary school. Then they got this whole shit set up with the elementary school and the National Park Service. We're going over to the monument. All these other fucking schools are there. They taking me back, and I'm in the middle school. Then I'm in the high school. Bam. So we're kicking off the United Nations Global Celebration of People of African Descent. And I think 2010, a motherfucker tried to rob my house or some shit like that. And in this case, supposed to be whatever it is. And now all of a sudden, I got a warrant, and they never called my lawyer. They never called my bail bondsman. And the deal is either I accept being banned from the state of Georgia, or I turn myself into Clayton County. And whenever they get me out, so the shit's negotiated. It's like 3 days. So I get everything done. And I actually fly in to Georgia and turn myself in like New Year's, like January 2nd or some shit like that. They fuck around so long that when I'm getting released on the 28th of like January, I don't feel like fucking flying. So I'm telling everybody like how crazy this shit was, trying to ban me from the state of Georgia, how political this shit is, Joe dying, all this other shit. And I'm like, bro, I'm not flying nowhere. I'm driving up. And so the girls in the Philly campus are trying to get shit right. And I'm actually at God's Country. I'm with Chief Apostle Thomas Wesley Weeks and the Destiny Fellowship. And first Sunday is when you have a manhood class. I'm in manhood class and I'm in first service. I go to walk out and I find out that Erica's murdered. I walk the fuck like in the service. Damn. I'm trying to process this shit, and a little bit later, I get a phone call that my son's uncle, fucking, he's a little weirdo ass nigga, just killed his son. I'm like, all right, let's have the day. Now, after Joe's funeral is Saturday, the kids are Sunday. I got Reverend Dr. Alpha Brinson at Lee Scholars Academy in Clayton County, right? And now February is heavy, 50-year anniversary of Selma. So Barack on the bridge, Mama Millie on the bridge, John Lewis on the bridge. You got a group of students at Edmund Pettis' gravesite. That shit didn't go good. Coming out of that, Freddie Gray, we had the march in Philadelphia. My kids got pepper sprayed, and then my in Wilmington, Delaware, the kids were having Will Beeman, the motherfucker that Biden put over the national or a decade-long celebration of people of African descent. He had a die-in, had all the boys come in the street, lay in the street and play dead. That's what the fuck was going on. And when you see that's the time that the A.D. King Foundation is supposed to be bringing Brinson and Christine King Ferris up to the Edith Scott Bagley campus. And April 21st, 2016, Amy Joyner Francis dies. My joy. Now, my Wilmington campus started at Sarah Pyle. I got Central Baptist Church in the middle, and then I got Howard High School. She died at Howard High School. So all of y'all, if she's gonna get arrested, if the other girls gonna get arrested, all that other shit. But I'm dealing with my daughter's mourning. When you look and you see all that, the daughter, shout out to Chief Apostle Thomas Wesley Weeks. That's where all that footage is. So bam, that's where we are. And I'm dealing with this after school Satan Club, Gordon Messner. And all of a sudden, you know, when we severed from, we didn't really sever. They were just doing their thing, not doing nothing. We go in the trenches. We were spending $1 a book. Okay? So that's 2007. We got 50 high schools, average 1,000 students. We got 25 middle schools, average 300 students. And so $1 a book, 57,000 students, about 57,000 a year. And I'm in the direct sales. I'm doing multiple six figures. I got Edward Hartley funding shit. And that's where we was until 2017, where they closed the Success Foundation and stopped printing books. I'm hood. I started printing them at $3 a book. That shit went from 57,000 to 171,000. And so, you know, 57 times 10 for 2017, we had 570. That 171, what? 2020, we had 1,083,000 invested in this shit. We got to go digital. 2020 presidential election. I'm leaving a voting rally in Philadelphia, heading to a listening party in Wilmington, and I'm trying to set up a little something after River, and so I ain't riding with our door. Some in front of me, some behind me. Thank God they saved my life, and I'm pulled over by the Philadelphia Police Department. Extracted from my vehicle. They had just murdered a motherfucker talking about some mental health fuckery. They talking about where the gun. I got sweatpants on. I dropped my pants. The only weapon I got, useless unless you're a pretty girl. They riddle me with tasers, shoot me in my pee-pee, take me over. Said it was some warrant. The warrant never popped up. And illegally hold me for 6 days. Deny my right to vote. And all of my female students went bananas. You go through that type of situation, you learn who really love you. And my students, they love me. So I'm like, okay, all right, let me figure it out. And I'm me. So I don't want to come look in the eyes of the motherfuckers that set me up. As I have. See them cluster fucking on themselves? That's what this shit is. And so, I'm like, what's up with y'all? And they want a bag. So I partner with this fuckboy named Munir Islam. He got this company named B, digital education. He talk about trade. I don't give a fuck about him. But me and Monetier, David, we cool. I can't fuck over his company like I'm finna fuck over Monir and give my daughters everything they need to be able to get this trading bag. So my daughter's getting the trading bag, and then Munir fucks up and loses the merchant account. It's over. All right. And so boom. So now what y'all gonna do? Well, we all right. No, y'all not. Some shit going on. So 2022, probably like the summer, no, late late spring, I find out about the $250 stripping license that Atlanta PD and DeKalb PD got. What? Oh fuck no, no y'all not. And so we need a bag. Well, y'all need to launch a business. What business we gonna have? Y'all need to get a job. Ain't no jobs. They don't tell me this all we can do. Oh fuck no. I'm on some daddy shit. Look, take my old directories from 2007 to COVID. I did fucking 403 paper church business directors, 48,000 folk in there. Google just shifted its entire platform from Google My Business to Google Business Profiles. Ain't nobody told your parents. All right, they fucking goofy. They all they need is a description and it be optimized. Y'all can do that and update their Google. That's what it was in 2021. So, you know, I give it to them as a project-based learning experience. I'm the dean, right? Resurrect Progress Plaza with AI. Okay. And so, but I'm into this 250 and shit because I done raised these little babies. Like, they my babies. Stripping. Now I'm trolling motherfucking IGs and shit. Menu. How much the CI being? Oh, they can't stop. You like a dad to me. I mean, I know. So I'm trying to figure out how much to see my daughter nipples. I ain't never seen your nipples. I never changed the diapers. Let me see that little kitty you said $20. I'm finna pay it. You can't pay it. I'm finna pay. Well, that's what how much it costs. I'm finna pay. No, I just need to pay my rent. I'm finding out shit like that. So now I'm getting pissed the fuck off. Real pissed the fuck off. So I'm like, what y'all going through? They like, well, boom, 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 housing costs, all that type of shit. So you know, it's about to be the 40-year anniversary of Yolanda's fucking creative arts department. So I know Soleil's and I know Lonnie finna drop the Real Rebellious Rosa Parks, and that's the last thing that Cynthia Doris Nottage wanted was for everybody to get the real story of Rosa Parks. Y'all need to, you know, launch this Brains Over Booze movement. Boom. So I'm helping them with language. We combating the over-sexualized culture and the social media pressure attempted to objectify us. Boom. And so like that. Now, it's October 2022. Real Rebellious Parks is done. Same way I threw the Watch Night party. They want to watch this shit in Yoki Auditorium and then take some selfies and shit in the Rosa Parks room. And the King Center charges them $2,500. That ain't gonna fuck up. Now, Deacon Brinson, my deacon. She's like, what you doing up there with the girls? You need to help me down here with these food, man. So I'm all right, cool. I don't give a fuck about Warnock, but the community should have. Oh, okay, Brittany, hoe ass. Cause Brittany, boy, she ain't got no, you know what I'm talking about. What? Bitch was a thought. She still is slutting out all throughout everybody. Everybody in the hood knows the fucking Brittany the wrong way. And so that's why, you know, anyway. So Brittany like, okay, all right, bitch, whatever. What you got? All right, yeah, I fuck with you. You really doing some shit? Yeah, I'm really about this. I'm really about, all right. And I find out that the Heritage Sanctuary have been closed for 3 years. So y'all logistical fucking idiots ain't never ordered no new food. So you didn't give all this food out and got folks sick. I ain't rocking with that. Then y'all doing what? Y'all buying Warnock $1 million house. What the fuck y'all doing that for? Because he get $100,000 housing allowance and he can't get his $100,000 housing allowance because he getting the Senate money. Cool. So put that shit back in the hood. No, we buying him that. Well, why y'all gotta buy him that much so it don't pop up on his next election? Man, fuck all of y'all. Now I told y'all I ain't never fuck with Warnock. And I told you the only reason I went behind his desk is because Yoki made me. Well, Christine King Ferris on the deathbed. Naomi on the deathbed. I done rode with this A.D. King Foundation. These niggas is all up in the fucking shit. You know what? We go behind the Heritage Sanctuary in my Believing Soldier Battalion, marking we the fuck out. I don't know what y'all doing. Fuck y'all. We going. Oh, no. Because us coming, fixing the shit and being out showcase how fucked they shit is. And so in the interim, December the 5th, I think it was like the second or something, like 2 youngins get shot in Atlanta Station. Now I'm having a conversation with Shannon about what we're about to do. because I'm only going to be, or the girl's only gonna call a parent. The 46 directories in Georgia is 8,200 folk. It's like 500 folk registered for new birth. It's like 500 folk registered from household. It's like 400 folk from 500 folk from new birth, 500 folk from Elizabeth, 400 folk from household, like 300 folk from impact, and all the rest of them. Boom. So the girl's gonna dial through. It's gonna happen. Boom, like that. And then Shannon, like, after you do, I don't even know you're doing a fucking report, right? And listen, we ready to go. All right, listen, you know I ain't got no kickbacks, right? What you mean? See, the old white dude did the paper director, he gave kickbacks. Ursula Frederick and Newberg, um, Alvin Jameson and motherfucking Elizabeth, Barbara Cooper, Sharon Cooper, whatever the fucking name is. All these folks, they get little kickbacks. So they get no kickbacks. Oh, I've already had a conversation, not with Craig Kelly, the company, the old company, but with Joe fucking Cutter, this old ass motherfucker. I don't understand all the tech that our daughters do. He don't understand tech, period. But he's heard everything that's going to happen. Because my first way of getting this done was to say, look, I'm gonna just update my old site. And he listened to everything that the girls was doing. Then he said he didn't want to do it. So you're gonna lie and tell everybody you're gonna give them the shit, but not give them the shit and take advantage of them and cut my daughters out. Do you not know where select patronage come from? We don't buy, we don't work. All right, now you cut out. Rebuild this shit, because it's easier to build it than, because Google likes trusted, verified information. And it's too fucking much work to rip that shit apart and put it back together. Just do something new. Trusted is verified, bam. So my man is giving out kickbacks. Shannon looking for kickbacks. No big fucking deal. Let him go. He's irrelevant. So you should know, December the 10th, 2003. All right. I get a phone call from Yolanda. Meet me at the Heritage Sanctuary. So I come up to the Heritage Sanctuary. Otherwise, we went to Bible study, got my baby moms and them cool, and me and my homies been playing some pool. So I get to the sanctuary after Bible study. Yolanda isn't there. I call her, and she's like, I'm in California, but you need to be there. Why? Because God needs you to be there. A little bit later, my friends get pulled over. My best friend, Kenneth Walker's in the rear right seat of the truck where I would typically be seating. He's murdered, shot, point blank range by the Muskogee County Sheriff Department, and never claimed he has a gun. Everybody understands this shit, because this is when I became a single dad. And my son's now 21. You've seen him grow up with, taking all the pictures to stamp this shit in the next generation. Even had a shoulder in his hand when they, founded the Martin Luther King Senior Center. And we in a sanctuary with the Heritage Sanctuary with one of the rangers talking about this shit. I walk out and they, in front of the camera, they don't know I just already did this clip where you're walking through it. Turn the kiddie room, the education room into the camera room with all this shit. In front of the camera, they say, I smacked somebody. Well, roll the fucking tape back. Well, we ain't got the tape. Nigga, you got a brand new camera room right there. And so that little shit go back and forth. I go through 2 federal prosecutions. Don't worry about it. No big deal. That's December the 9th, the 10th. You want to prosecute, no big deal. So we dealing with the shit. But Warnock's in office. He takes off. Brittany done collected all this shit. Gave folk poison food. It's a winter storm. They're nowhere around. In the interim of ministering in the community, my Georgia State daughters, motherfuckers be ministering over for a boy down on about it because they only come out for optics. Bear, a homeless individual's body is found frozen in between a Heritage Sanctuary and Wee Street. Our daughters see it. It's on tape. It's all going around. You can't sweep it under the rug. You gotta get this man some dignity. So January 30th, I give his eulogy on the 300 block of Auburn. January 31st, 2022. They are running all the fucking homeless out, right? And TT out like that. Now, I'm stressing this shit. And simultaneously, I told you about Doug Mesner, Satanic After School Club. May of 2023. Well, let me back up, because first is that funeral that I'm giving there. And then I told you I'd apologize and to stand, because February, I'm talking shit about this girl, right? Even though she's sexy. I'm managed anyway. Anyway. Then it's motherfucking February 18th, and Fitz, my third best friend, Sergeant Christopher Fitzgerald, Philadelphia Sheriff, the church got the fuck away with Warnock and the team launched in North Philadelphia. Fritz is a sheriff when COVID hits. and everybody can't do community. And Rochelle Bilal, the sheriff, partners with Fritz, and we giving out 3,000 pounds of food. Community, community, community. He dies. I'm asking for a professional courtesy. Like, yo, can y'all, David Dunjap, reschedule this March 7th court date? No, because March 7th is Selma. March 7th is the date we walked out of the Heritage into the Horizon, and they all about optics. They got the weights going down to Selma, and Biden gonna be there. No, in the fucking discovery of the National Park Service. This motherfucker says the Secret Service was coming, bringing Biden, so we had to alert them about me. Why the fuck are you alerting the Secret Service about me? Just a little hood preaching. Anyway, so he don't reschedule it, and one of our daughters, the third daughter of USU, Keyshawn Middlebrooks, doesn't come back. She does. May of all of that, I'm dealing with Douglas Megner, After School Satan Club, Saucon Valley, Pennsylvania, Hellertown, Pennsylvania, Saucon Valley School District, excuse me. We lose in federal court for the After School Satan Club on free speech. Same shit I got it going on with Warnock. I get a letter from David, from John Vaughn throwing me out the sanctuary because the day before court, David Dunjap hurt my car, my truck in between the Heritage Sanctuary. I'm coming up, Christine King Ferris, the Sunday before, Angela threw a living memorial at her house for her mother. And so I'm taking this living memorial with Marty Smith, and on the body cam of this new fucking ranger who ain't been here 6 months, you see him coming up, interrupting me and Marty and saying, can I speak to my client? I mean, my colleague. Then when I walk away, you see his body cam asking Marty, was he causing an interruption? No, he's just doing this video. As Marty Smith says. Now, it ain't 2 minutes later. I'm now pulling out the parking lot. This motherfucker standing on the side of the road. And as I'm pulling out, KJ, pull over, pull over, pull over, pull over, pull over. Then he's telling me to get out my car, get out my car, get out my car. You just seen me 3 minutes earlier. If you wanted to do something to me, you could have did it right then. You interrupted just so I would, in my conversation with another ranger, just to send me away, just so I was in my car so I could pull out, so you could pull me over and extract me from my car. For what fucking reason? So you could handcuff me, put me in a National Park Service car as the last son of the Heritage Sanctuary, in between these two fucking Heritage and Horizon Sanctuaries, so you could perk my car and say I had drugs in it, so you can go to court the next fucking day and say I'm a terror to the community and that I need to have a bail. Because that's what the fuck you tried to do. Because I had a Philadelphia or Pennsylvania driver's license, the motherfucker tried to say I was a threat to the community, tried to get me locked the fuck up on bond. How is it consistent? When you look at his body cam, because when you walk out of the Heritage Sanctuary of the historic Ebenezer Baptist Church, where this federal fraud begins, this is the door to walk out the sanctuary. This is the door to Deacon Marvin Brinson's desk. This is the bookshop. It said I walked out of here, walked into here, and then smacked a motherfucker. But then the initial report says that, but then the supplemental report says there wasn't enough evidence of a crime, so he decided to interview witnesses to see if they would testify. He doesn't interview the person that said that I smacked him because he already said he don't want to press charges. He just don't want me around here, and the only way to remove somebody from national park is to get a federal judge to say they're aggressive. So now, instead of him giving me this report that I can use to John Vaughn because in Fulton County false report of a crime is a crime, this motherfucker going to take me up here or take this girl up here, sit at Deacon Brinson's desk, and then come up with this narrative. But in his body cam, he said we don't care. A series of events. Listen to me well. A series of events that will get him arrested, and then when he in jail, that's what's on his body cam. This motherfucker just don't think that nobody ever gonna be able to get his body cam. Now let's fast forward the videotape because we in 2023. All right, 2023, rough summer. Okay. And toward the fall, I'm having conversations with Eric Venton Thomas. Why? So Fulton County getting the boys together first and third Saturday. And Eric is lying, saying he's the mayor's office faith-based liaison. Well, we in the community. I'm always at the Reverend James Park. And so I got a Believing Soldier right there, single dad. Got the basketball court right there, two, second and fourth. We riding bikes with our boys. And so Eric talking about, man, look, we want to do something. Boom, 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 boom. Well, Eric talking about he want to raise his youth department. He want to open shit up. I'm like, cool. We don't really fuck with him, but it ain't no space for us to get on this side. And so we entertained and thought, we like, Eric, your fucking reputation is trash, my boy. We're gonna have to do something outside and then collab with you. Tells us about this other house on the Play Street, Lockwood, next to one of his members. And he can be able to rent it and get it hooked up and, for us and get it a good price and all boom, 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 boom. And we be ministering. And so we go in. Now I'm probably in the house like December, like December, January. It's another that it's a room joint. And old boy is moving out. We rent the whole crib. It's booming. So January we rent the crib. Like February is storming shit. The way it is a tree falling on top of my caddy truck, and my insurance ain't covering the damage because it's the homeowner shit. The landlord out the country. I'm suing the nigga in magistrate court. No big fucking deal. So we doing the play outside, the inside thing. I'm ministering, and all of a sudden, it's National Prayer Day, right? We got Deacon Thomas out there. He always praying. He a real OG. Our basketball court over there. We ain't really. Eric is the pastor, but he don't really pastor there. You know what I mean? By the time I'm all in there, y'all know how I am. Folks like you the pastor here? Like no, I'm just boom, 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 doing the summer thing, boom. So we pray with the kids on National Prayer Day, May 2nd, 2024. Promise them Summer Success Space over at St. Peter's. Eric got this whole joint on a mayor liaison. You're gonna block it off. Everything gonna be good. So in between the month of May, right? Eric has an after-school program at some kind of fucking rec center, and for whatever's on the rec center, they gotta come over here at the church. And he got this little young girl up there who got like 17 kids. It's like way too many kids for this girl to be handling by herself. And the workers, they hood and ghetto as shit. They sitting downstairs at the table, but she up there is with the kids trying to feed them and shit. And she, like 21, 22, my daughter age. What's up, little baby? What's up? I'm trying to take her to the aquarium, but the church lady won't give me the boom. So I'm, all right, look, here, I call the aquarium, a little connect. All right, what you need? All you got to do is get this boom. Where you get it from? The church secretary. So I call the secretary, look, she need this, and then she's going to be able to, well, why would you do that? Because she needed help with it, bro, and that's what she did. And she asked me, so I got it back. Well, you don't need it. Like, who the fuck is you? You just, all right, anyway, whatever. So now the little Isaiah dude, he act like he real tough, popping up and shit. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, little boy? You my son. Hey, so anyway. In the interim of all of this, they put a little girl, she about to send the kids out. But she don't have no catch. Catch means I'm inside, upstairs, and I'm sending the kids out. Somebody got to be the fuck outside. We not just trusting that the kids going to go outside and sit there, and adults and kidnappings and all types of shit. One of these little boys is all the way across the fucking parking lot, damn near by the ball court. And my young is like, hey, they calling me and shit. So I'm on Eric ass about it. He, no, motherfucker, something could have happened to that little boy, whatever. So anyway, I'm always in a county building, you know what I mean? I fuck with my shield. And one of my shit like, yeah, you got TPO with your boyfriend, huh? Like, my boyfriend, your boyfriend would get TPO. What kind of fucking TPO? So I'm like, boom, you better get that shit right. So I go up to the 9th floor of the Fulton County Government Building on the 22nd of May, 2024, and get it. A fucking TPO, or not a TPO. I get a TPO. Like, all right, cool. I got a hearing, right? And the shit don't really make no sense to me because I'm taking the credit cards of my landlord, but I ain't seen my landlord in a while, and nobody live in my house but me. Kids over my house. It's the playhouse. Food in my house. Computers and shit. Because we don't trust Eric for Youth Day. And Youth Day is scheduled to be motherfucker on the 25th. So, boom. It's Friday. It's the 24th. APD is at my house. So I'm like, what? They're like, you got a warrant? No, we just went through that. We got a warrant. Your landlord out here trying to get in your house. Hold on. Where my landlord come from? Call the supervisor. APD call. The supervisor, they like, boom, look, the landlord can't come in. You got a warrant. I'm going to Rice Street. They expect me to be in Rice Street till Tuesday or something. Now let's back up because April 8th, the Reef Lane. In 2024, I'm at the King Center with, when you hear the tape, I'm talking to Eric Tidwell. That's Bernice's general counsel. All right, he talking about the sequence of everything we're talking about with the mamas is factual, and so, um, um, uh, uh, what's old boy name? Timothy McDonald is there. Connie Smith. I'm questioning them, and everybody loving on me. Hey, Kay, all this type of shit. Now, 2 days later, on the 10th, is when you go to the Kingdom Marketplace / Rosa Parks. That's when I'm shooting that Rosa Parks footage. Okay. Now, on Sunday, I'm bebopping down the block. There is a fucking U-Haul. They robbing all this shit out my house. I call APD. APD comes on the video. You see this little Asian motherfucker in my house, got my shit locked, and won't open the door for APD. Okay? When they finally open the door for APD, my house is gutted. Everything gone. All the computers we fundraised for, all the shit that was donated, everything fucking gone. So we can't figure out what it's for and how the fuck this Asian dude was able to get this TPO. And y'all see it right here. It says that on April the 12th, 2024, I was harassing employees at the Martin Luther King Jr. Center. You're going to see that clip where I'm walking in and I'm telling y'all it's about to be a setup. And I'm in the Rosa Parks room and I walk out and this pregnant girl and I'll come down the steps and this dude trying to get me to fight. And then this girl, you can't be here. Well, who? I was just with Eric Tidwell 4 days prior. And we're calling the police. All right, well, call him then. I ain't calling him. She says that specifically. So there's no police report. How the fuck did this Asian who wasn't in the country know about this shit? Her name's Alethea Boone. When I'm holding the bullhorn for Naomi, she talks about Alethea Boone. That's Eric's member of this A.D. King Foundation. Now, kids. So this is May. Everything rocked, but I'm graduating the boys in custom cut suits from the Stark Auburn Library from the, you know what I mean, the Big Brothers Anonymous, My Brother's Keeper, Obama Foundation in Fulton County. So I still graduate the boys, right? 3 boys get shot in the Reverend James Orange Park. Shannon Jones calls a prayer rally at the Reverend James Orange Park, pulls up late, doesn't pray, spews violence, and drives off. Next week, July 11th, they're hosting motherfucking the new superintendent of the school district. We want to ask them some questions, some shit about the school district on behalf of the community, and everybody whose community that wants to come in can't get in. Eric flies out this summer. Now he had this bus that went from, or was supposed to go from his church to FCS and back and bust the girls. He lied. They bust his windows out. Now these girls, fast forward, they had this thing done, or it's supposed to be done, at Elizabeth in 2025. That got blocked. And the text that we got from Elizabeth is because the girls said that they got the King Center on the list, so that was what blocked it. Now it's 2025, and the community has done everything they need to do behind the scenes on their own. Okay, men in the community have done stuff, and we're only having we're buying buildings. Okay, and we're converting it, building on top of it, the tech and entrepreneurship center that Warnock promised the community. But we have a feeding crisis along the Carver Community Cluster. We've already been feeding our kids, but you know, we feed our kids outside what we can do. But then we found out inside that they're starving. So we make it public. We're gonna blow this summer budget if we don't do this, thinking it'll provide some pressure to help. There's some folks who donate. And so instead, they get Atlanta News First to do this fake article talking about the summer program that John Bailey's doing. John Bailey ain't involved in shit, but Bailey robs the kids, doesn't pay for his shit now. Got our power washer and trailer shit in there, doesn't do that. He's gung-ho in the article. Da da da. Yeah, he came to me about this, and we gotta help these kids, and da da da. But then on the video we got, he says, "Oh, they came and told me not to talk to you no more." Who is who? Who is they? Well, I'm just not talking. Wait a minute. What about the kids? Fuck the kids. I'm not talking no more. So you would never for the kid. Okay, cool. So we got this dude, Craig Simpson, and Craig is a nonprofit. He's one of the businesses, 8200. And he's always talking this high shit of who he is and da 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 da. He's like, man, we can fix this. I'm with FCS, the company that, they're a client of his now. He works for Invest Atlanta, but FCS is a client of his now, and they got new leadership in Marv, and we can make it happen. You know, like where all the pastors are there, man. We can put Marv up as the pastor partner. It'd be some great promo for him and the stuff that he's doing. He's hooked up with the mayor. And we could put together like the little Saturday event because we can teach online digitally, right? But we just need a Saturday meetup where AC is like, man, right there, and you did the classroom over there. All right, cool. So we put this smart motherfucker up at the direction of Craig Simpson of Invest Atlanta, a Simpson nonprofit. I don't know what fucking company it is that FCS is the client of, and for that reason, you know, at the resource partner joint that where nobody showed up. We're like, yeah, we represent MCS, represent Craig Simpson. That's what the fuck you see on the tape. And then we talk about him being a major partner and anchoring the Carver cluster, and we go over to their coffee with a cop that is, you know, kind of simultaneous. And we're talking about all of that and community and all of that. And then we're sitting down with his girl and all of that. And they're, yup, we're diamond. Yup, we're doing this, we're doing that. Craig even sends a deposit. He's like, I'm sponsoring this on behalf of them, a power washer, and the account's down, one of them. So all right, I put that on it. So we're working on chipping that away, and then man, I'm sending this and sending that, and then the Friday before fucking Mother's Day, they stepped the fuck out of it. And Craig's like, what's the difference? Well, Craig, you lied. Everybody else got robbed in the robbery. You were acting like you got robbed. You never got robbed. You got hold. Well. And so in feeding all the folk and all that, we've been feeding the kids since spring break. The shit got so dire. And when we popped up and started helping the folk, that so many folk came out. He's like, yo, you know what? You gotta get some fucking food. And so we go over to St. Vincent's, only because at my bus stop buddy yesterday, one of the church mamas pulled up, went to the store. Hey, baby, we ain't seen you in a while. I wanted to come see you. She, y'all got food? You over there got food? Yeah, baby, we got some food. No, hurry, I hear what you doing. I go to fuck over there. Y'all see the tape. Get a box of food, motherfuckers. Trying to provoke some violent shit. Now, listen, bro. They bust this motherfucker windows out the first time because he did this shit. Now you and Craig Simpson and y'all did this shit again because all of you are trying to perpetuate violence when these little kids is hungry. These little high schoolers, right? Like, it's great that we got a lot of them, but the football team is motherfucking 11 and 12. So these teenage boys that y'all robbing, that y'all doing dirty, they ain't talking about it's me. You see me, I'm talking to a deacon. Hey, man, you can't. The fuck, nigga, I've been here for 20 minutes. Having the same cool conversation. This deacon, you don't know this man just sat down and said you're the enforcer, now you come with this enforcement shit. Like, bro, and is it the mayor's office or is it this? But everybody is not pleased. They're all talking about the shit, about how they wasn't pleased with, you know, and I'm in the mayor's office one day and then y'all and Bernice got all this shit. And I don't lie for politicians. I don't lie for anybody, but the kids is hungry. This shit is fucked up. I ain't got no budget for this shit, bro. None whatsoever. I got a whole church in North Philadelphia. I got a whole shit. This is not a house. This is a fucking room that we converted into an office because once we made a commitment to these people, we don't turn their back on them. That's not what Yoki does. And I've given everybody the infrastructure, but you can see where Craig Simpson and Mark, because Craig ran the fucking numbers. So when he knows that the budget's thin, you did that shit. And I'm going to tell you, boy, I don't want shit to do with them teenagers and what the fuck they feel about FCS, they feel about Marv, they feel about them. And then when I go over to try to get done, they trying to say it's me. It's not me. And so, bro, we can still. I told them is the Kajabi account is fucking $300. And these kids, since Craig been fucking them over, telling them they was gonna do it, they used the money for their storage to pay for some shit. Craig, you ain't even reimbursing them for that. So you know they finna lose all their other tools that they had in storage from last summer after John Belly just stole the fucking shit that they can have now. So you motherfuckers know you killed the shit for these kids trying to say it's about me. It can be about me. I don't get anything out of it except ministering to our kids. You the motherfuckers got the millions of dollars not done shit. Now, I don't know if it's Andre's office. I don't know if it's what, but the shit is too sticky. Now, look, that's it. That's the story. And what does it come down to? You know, you just keep wrapping this rope around your fucking necks. How did my house get raided and I lose everything? For the kids, bro, I'm telling the kids it's about suffering. It's a part of it. I suffered. I lost everything. They raped, robbed, stole every fucking thing. And everybody that I don't know, they're not my friends and shit. That little girl ain't my motherfucking friend. They cut a check to and sell out the kids. One thing I can tell you about Coach Steph, one thing I tell you about Lil Baby is when they ask them, do they care? They care. They help. None of these motherfuckers have, bro. And I love everybody, bro. I can't, you know, anybody really want to help because that's the truth, bro. As the original creative arts and youth director of the Martin Luther King Jr. Association and Center, appointed by Edith Scott Bagley, Coretta Scott King, Cynthia Lawrence Nottage Tucker, and chosen by Yolanda, sent by Amazing Great. Martin Luther King Jr. says, silence in certain pivotal moments is betrayal. I'm never betraying the covenant that they instilled into me to tell the truth. All right? And he said, in the end, it's not the words of our enemies, remember, it's the silence of our friends. So, I'm just telling the truth for you. I'm getting this shit off my chest because I don't owe anybody shit. And when we're fighting to make sure our boys understand what it means to be a king, non-violent, we don't need you motherfuckers talking about you getting violent. And it's because you control the courts and all this other shit, and ain't nobody gonna sue you and you got all this shit. I'm gonna tell you, what you motherfuckers created with this shit over there, this shit gonna get violent because I already hear it. You leaving us, they ain't fucking with you. And so when they fuck with you, don't call me to help your asses. We done.